Apple's got two new phones, the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus, and at 4.7 inches and 5.5 inches, the two devices are bigger and the company hopes better than the devices that have preceded it. Apple has really not been crazy innovative on the past two iterations of their phones, so they really wanted to come out swinging on these. And the devices look substantively different, and yet they don't feel too large in the hand. The iPhone 6, from our experience, felt kind of natural. The iPhone 6 Plus, on the other hand, is a rather large device. Apple's made some accommodations to the fact that these phones are literally larger in the hand. And the most obvious of which is called reachability, and it's a double touch on the home button. Literally lowers the entire screen so you can get at some of the keys and information on the top of the screen without having to move your hand. Additionally, they've also moved the sleep-wake button to the side to make it easier to reach without having to go for the top of the phone. Both devices are thinner than the existing iPhone 5S. At 6.9 millimeters for the iPhone 6 and 7.1 millimeters for the iPhone 6 Plus. It's really hard to assess the screen in an event like this, but it really did look kind of nice from all angles, and that's because Apple's using a new type of display. They call it the Retina HD display. It's got 1334 by 750 resolution on the iPhone 6 and 1920 by 1080 on the iPhone 6 Plus. The display uses something that they call dual domain pixels, which allow for that wider viewing angle. Apple also made a big deal out of the new cameras on the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus. They've got something called focus pixels, which Apple claims allows you to focus at almost twice as fast. The iPhone 6 has digital image stabilization, but the iPhone 6 Plus takes it a definite step further with optical image stabilization, which is really starting to show up on a lot of phones these days. Apple claims that this should greatly reduce noise in low light situations, and we're eager to see just how that performs when we get it into our labs. The other big news about the two iPhone 6s is that they both have built-in NFC, near-field communications. Now, this is nothing new. It's been on a lot of competing phones for years even, and Apple is kind of late to this game. But what they bring to it is a real system called Apple Pay, which they've got on board some of the biggest banks and retailers, and that means that you're going to be able to use your phone as a transactional device. It literally can just take a picture of your credit card and import it into the device without actually importing the credit card number, which is really interesting. Apple claims that they're not retaining any of your information on the phone. In fact, they don't want to even know about the transaction itself. They claim that's between you, the retailer, and the bank. As expected, both iPhone 6s had a new A8 chip with a 64-bit architecture and a new M8 Motion coprocessor. They've updated that as well, and they claim that it should be able to deliver up to 50 times the performance of the original iPhone and 84 times the graphics performance of the original iPhone. One of the big issues in the past with iPhones has always been their battery life in our testing, and Apple's really claiming that they're amping that up, and not surprisingly, when you make a bigger phone, you can fit a bigger battery. They're claiming that they're going to get up to 14 hours of 3G talk time and up to 24 hours of 3G talk time on the 6 and 6 Plus respectively. We'll obviously want to test that out in our labs. Both iPhone 6s are going to be available in 16 gigabyte, 64 gigabyte, and 128 gigabyte versions. The 32 gigabyte version that was previously available in the 5S is gone, but the price, the starting price of the 6, will remain the same as the previous iPhone 5S at $199. The iPhone 6 Plus is going to cost an extra $100 for $299 on contract. We're looking forward to getting these in our labs where we can test them out ourselves.